right, man. Welcome to the show. I got the boy officially GP in the building, Mr. Get Paper. What's going on?
Hey man, what's going on with you all as well?
So you based in Atlanta right now, but you're originally from Cleveland, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me what it was like with your upbringing and just what you saw coming up in Cleveland.
Man, uh, I ain't gonna try to fabricate it, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it's a struggle in every neighborhood. But my city dangerous, man. It's out of control. You know what I mean? Back when I was growing up, it had a little more structure. You know what I mean? Like, it was certain rules and things you couldn't, do. You know what I mean? So it was a little more structure, even though you had the same, format going on. But uh, I'm just thankful I made it up out of there. You know what I mean? Coming from a situation where a lot of my homies I grew up with didn't make it past 22.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's really what I'm thankful for.
What type of struggles that you or the people around you have to overcome?
Lights being off, you know what I mean? No food, uh, everybody hustling, mama working 2, 3 jobs, daddy ain't there, you know what I mean? Your big brother in jail doing life,
Mm-hmm.
teachers ain't teaching. The normal stuff that I'm sure a lot of people from, wherever they from that went through, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't really like to, boast about it. Like, it's not a boast, you know what I mean? I'm just happy I made it, you know what I mean? Because a lot of homies didn't make it. I lost a lot of homies before we reached 11th grade, you know what I mean? So it's tragic, you know what I mean? You just kind of get immune to death or seeing, like, people go to jail. You get immune to that. And that's just something I'm really happy I overcame.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I became a statistic of that, I've been to prison. I went to jail before I hit 21. I done been, in some wars, but I made it through it, and I'm just, happy about that. Praise be to Allah.
So what do you think it was about you that made you different to the point where you were able to make it out?
I could run fast.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, honestly, it was just protection by law. You know what I mean? Because, there's been many nights and many situations where, I shouldn't have made it up out of there. So it's really just that protection from the Most High, I could really say. And then it just, watching how other people moved and seeing what their downfalls was, and then listening. That's the main key. You got to listen. When you're in the streets, you got to listen. You got to hear everything. You got to know what's going on. If you don't, you're going to walk blind into something. Like my first, second day in prison, like I got into a fight, not because of anything I did, but because of who hand I shook.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It was so many politics. Like I shook my homie hand that I knew from the streets, and the dude pull up on me like, yeah, you owe down too. And I'm like, man, listen, we going to go there. You know what I mean? I don't owe nobody. Then when I got out the hole, I'm like, you running around here owing people, and like, bro, what you down here into? Like, we don't live like that. You know what I mean? I don't brawl, I don't gamble, and I don't trick. You know what I mean? Like, you stay away from them 3 things, you'll be good. You feel me? Like, so it's just really listening and observing your surroundings. Like, when you in the streets, you can feel when it's cold. You know what I mean? You can feel when somebody to pop off. So it's like, you're either going to go all the way in or you're going to get far away from it,
So you said you went to prison.
Yeah.
Not to dwell on it, but for how long?
I did 7.
Mm.
Yeah.
What motivated you?
In there?
Yeah.
Going home. Going home, thinking about my life. I went in the 20s. So it was like, when I looked at the out date, I'm like, damn, I'm going to be 30-something. I thought my whole life was going to be over. I'm like, man, what am I supposed to do now? Because I left the streets a millionaire, moved to Hawaii and, ran it up. Like, so when I came to prison, I lost all that, everything. Cars, money. I lost the homies before anything. They was already selling my stuff before I even got sentenced.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Lost a lot of women. So it was just like, when I'm sitting down, I was bitter at first, because I got told on by my own people, my own family, and it had me bitter at first. But I just had to really just suck it up. Like, it's nothing I'm gonna do. It's nothing I'm gonna do right now that's gonna get me home tonight. So I ain't about to cry about this. You know what I mean? Like, it's really nothing I'm gonna do when I'm gonna crash out. I'm still gonna be in jail. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be mad, walking around with my face all sad. I'm still gonna be in jail. So I really just took that time and uh, refurbished myself. You know, read a lot, started businesses. You know, really focused on business management. You know, that whole time, and you know, I came home and despite being homeless for a moment, you know what I mean, got to it. You know, built my brand up quick, and you know, now the whole city knew about it. They love it.
Okay. So at what point did you realize that you had a passion or interest for entertainment?
Man, I probably want to say like fifth, sixth grade, man. You know, like I always been like you know, I don't want to be on the spot, but like I just want to see everybody having fun. You know what I mean? Like I love to see people laughing, love to see people smiling. You know what I mean? So I want to say probably about fifth or sixth grade. You know what I mean? Where you know, Michael Jackson and you know MC Hammer, stuff like that. You know, and then when I got older, it was just like more like I wanted to just be me. You know what I mean? Like I don't really see myself being like nobody. You know what I mean? That's why I think like the process to get here today has took so long, because it's like I'm not like nobody. I'm not, you know, I can't fall up under nobody. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's gonna always clash.
So coming from where you come from, who were some of the biggest influences as far as we'll do music first, and not just for you specifically,
Yeah.
but who did y'all look up to?
But where I'm from, you know, it's 10 Ford, you know, in Cleveland. So we, at that time growing up, we all looked up to like, you know, Dre, Ron LaRue, Kenyard, you know, just like a lot of ghetto heroes. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really see no NBA players. I mean, you had Jordan, of course, but Jordan wasn't in my hood. You know, we had guys in my hood that could, you know, fly like Jordan. You know, we had homies in the hood that was rapping like Pac. You know what I mean? But just a lot of ghetto heroes, like guys that was around every day. You know, that kept the structure. You know what I mean? As far as on the industry level during that time, I gotta go with like NWA. You know what I mean? NWA, and then like Poor Righteous Teachers. You know, a lot of people sleep on them out of New Jersey. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was more like a hood thing. You know what I mean? I looked up to the guys in my neighborhood that was older than me, that, you know, managed everything and kept everything in order.
Okay. So you act, model, and do music, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So which one you like the most, if you had to pick?
Oh, acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it? Why is that?
I mean, just because you can kind of like a role, it's a role. You know what I mean? But then, you know, a lot of the roles kind of fit things that you've been through, you know, or things that you've seen. You know what I mean? And then it's like, it's really no age limitation on acting. You know what I mean? I could be 80 acting, you know? So I just love to, I believe in the visuals. People see things and they believe it versus hearing things. When they hear it, you gotta like drill it in their ear. That's why we marketing, you know, because you gotta drill that song in their ear. But with acting, it's a visual. So it's like, if they see it, they're gonna believe it. Like, I don't know if you remember, like a few years ago, this one indie film, they had made a trailer on Instagram, but it looked like a natural setting at a pool party. And the girl got up and shot the girl. And like she really shot her, but kind of found out it was a movie. So everybody believed the visual was that this girl just jumped up at a pool party and shot this girl and killed her. But it was a movie. They didn't put no tags on it or nothing. It looked like a real incident. And it went viral, you know, and the indie film blew up like that. So it's like people go off visuals more than hearing things, and then, of course, reading things. People don't read anything these days, you know. So I want to be able to give the people, through my visuals, opportunity, you know, hope, a sense of a chance. You know what I mean? It shouldn't matter where you're from. It shouldn't matter what you're going through. That should stop you from chasing what you want to be.
Okay. So far as genres and roles. What are your favorite? Like, would you say drama, action, comedy? Like, what
But
what do you enjoy
I
most?
mean, I got a favorite, but they seem to always want to hire me for a prison role. Like I'm so sick of these prison
Why is
roles,
that,
man.
man?
I don't know, man. Like and it's so funny to me because it's like I'm sitting here in prison. I would have never thought I'd come home and be playing a prison role on Empire.
Hmm.
Like so, me going back into that setting on Empire, I was just like, all this stuff is staged. It's not even a prison cell. You know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, they're like, oh, you play this role so well. I'm like, nigga, I've been here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So, uh, I would say the role I really want to play is definitely comedy. You know what I mean? Like witty, because I'm really funny. Like a lot of people don't know that about me, but I'm super funny. Like I love to laugh. You know what I mean? So it'll probably be like more into comedy. You know what I mean? Or like I don't really want to play no gangster roles. You know what I mean? Because that get a wrong impression. You know what I mean? Like Lorenz Tate, we look at him as old dog no matter what role he play.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, so I just want to maybe like something witty or like something with some substance, like some knowledge. You know what I mean? But comedy or knowledge, I'll go with that.
Okay. So, music wise, talk to me about a night in Vegas.
Man, it's a night in Vegas, man. You been to Vegas?
I haven't. I've been to the West Coast, but I ain't been to Vegas yet.
You heard about Vegas, all right?
For sure.
So imagine if you had one night there.
Okay.
You're gonna do everything.
Yeah.
That's the album. It's everything. It's all in one.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it's got the whole vibe. You know what I mean? It's got everything that's up to date as far as the trend. Then it's got, a splash of like, this could be this really going on. You know what I mean? Then it's got, your club bangers, stuff for the TikToks as well. You know what I mean? It's got a little bit of everything in it, but that's the song. I mean, the album itself, it got that name because the recording process.
Hmm.
Like we went to go record a few songs and ended up going through a whole album in one night in Vegas at a studio. So it came up with that name for it. Because we was like a lot of the songs got times and dates like 1:50 a.m.
Hmm.
12:50, 12:10. Like a lot of them had just the times and dates of the time we were recording. We eventually put names on a few of them, but just a night in Vegas. Anybody who been there, they know like you get off that plane, you be full of energy. Like you don't go to sleep. You up the whole time. You're trying to do everything in one night. You know what I mean? So that's pretty much how the album gonna go. How it go.
So when you go in the studio, what gets you into your vibe? Like what you got to do in order to make the best music you can make?
It's got to be the beat. The beat, like, cause I'm not a drinker. I'm not a popper. I'm not. You know what I mean? So it's got to be the beat. You know what I mean? Like the chemistry. Within like the energy in the room got to be right. You know what I mean? So like, if there's anything negative, it got to go. You know what I mean? Like, as music progressing, like, a lot of people that I've, been associated with, we don't associate that much because it's like they don't understand the process of like what I go through to make music. Like it's like a zone. So it's like when I'm zoning, it's like I need to be alone. I need to it just hit me. You know what I mean? Like it's not like something I just like plan. Oh, I'm gonna go record 10 songs. Like no, it's like each song is something happened. So most of the beat. I mean, that beat got to be right, and that'll just take me there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I ask pretty much everybody that come on the show, I ask them this question. A lot of people feel like entertainers or rappers specifically are being targeted with the whole RICO charges and all that stuff that's
Yeah.
going on now. What do you do to make sure that you stay out of that image?
I mean, I really just don't talk all that gangster shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you gangster, you ain't talking about that. That was like one of the rules. Like, gangsters don't talk. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't into all that. You know what I mean? But it's like being in the industry, you accumulate so many friends. Like, you get a dude that's like nobody, and he get a popping song, and like now you look up, he got 30 people with him on the entourage list. Like, dude, you didn't even know 30 people before last week. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
Prime example, like, one of my good brothers, Ray Cash. You know what I mean? Free him too. You know what I mean? He locked down right now. But when he first got his deal with Sony, like this was back in '05 or something like that. And, I came over to the house. Like, this is my day one. We grew up together. Went over to the house, and I just seen, like, 15, 20 dudes. I'm like, yo, who is these dudes, bro? He like, oh, no, they cool. I'm like, no, they not cool. I'm like, this the house of one. I'm like, I don't know none of these guys. So I'm like, you got a strap in here? He like, nah, I pulled the one off my hip. Like, look, you need to keep this on you. I don't care, you know what I mean, industry or not. Like, you know what I mean? These guys are just all in the house, but it's like the industry, they try to build that image around artists. They want any artist that's talking anything that's gangster, they want to put 20 guys around you and all wearing the same color and, guns all in the camera. Like, if I was a cameraman, I'm not shooting that. I'm sorry, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust 20 guys with no guns in my face. You know what I mean? So it's like they want you to portray this imagery. At the end of the day, we have to remember and keep in mind that this is entertainment. You know what I mean? I can be talking about robbing stores and killing people and probably ain't never robbed a store a day in my life. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. It's something that you pushing out that's making millions relate to. Damn, I can relate to that. I've been through that. You know what I mean? It's entertainment. So it's like when there's these laws they say, to indict brothers on RICO charges based off of lyrics and all that stuff, it's like you really can't do that because it's like, let's check his background. This guy ain't never been to prison. This guy ain't never had a parking ticket. You know what I mean? A lot of dudes is catching record deals and getting felony charges after they get record deals. Like, bro, we did all that. You know what I mean? Like, we really been in prison. We really caught felonies. So it's like, now that we in the industry, it's like, I'm not about to play that tough shit. You know what I mean? I don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, but you feel me? Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm a rap about stuff being fun and getting some money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not beefing with nobody. They can talk all they want. I'm not about to say one thing on the song. You know what I mean? But I see you. I see you. And I know I'm 6'7". You ain't trying to you're gonna have to shoot me. You feel me? Like, I'm not doing that. It's like when you gangster, you gangster. You're not doing that. So it's like a lot of people they get into that and they get that entourage around them and everybody saying yes to anything that they doing. They start feeling like Capo, you know what I mean, or Gotti. You know what I mean? Not looking at the end of the movie. Them dudes is dead. You know what I mean? Them dudes doing life. So that come with that. You know what I mean? You want to be boss, that's going to come with that. You know what I mean? A real king is chosen. He not running around saying he a king. You know what I mean? The people going to say he a king. So it's like, as far as, music, it's sad that they indicting them, you know what I mean, over lyrics. But a lot of these guys is putting themselves in that position. You know what I mean? If you shot somebody, bro, I don't want to know nothing about that. I wish you would come on my studio talking about, nah, bro, I don't know nothing. Man, I'm gone. I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Because I'm an accessory to that. You know what I mean? They got so many laws that ties you in for life, it don't make no sense. They got shit in the corporate world that'll give you life for putting the wrong numbers on your taxes. You feel me? Like, so, we ain't doing that. Not that red carpet. You know what I mean? We don't want no problems with nobody. You know what I mean?
Got you. So what's next? What can the people expect in the near future?
Man, I mean, as far as the fourth quarter, man, they can expect to get tired of me. I'm just going to keep pushing these albums out every week. You know what I mean? A new project every week. You know what I mean? Like, A Night in Vegas just one. It's a banger, but it's just one. Like, it's just like the beginning of this. Like, so we're dropping something every week this whole fourth quarter. First quarter, come around, we're going to try to tap into like a mini-series, independent show. You know what I mean? So to pursue the acting, get the acting involved. Like with the acting, I can get everybody in my camp involved because everybody in my camp don't rap. You know what I mean? But with acting, everybody can have a role. You know what I mean? So everybody can receive royalties, you know what I mean? And start eating.
Got you. Well, I appreciate you for coming through, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate you.
All right. So if people want to find you, where all your social media handles, or what's the best way to get in touch with you?
The best way is Instagram, Mr. Get Paper. Yeah, Mr. Get Paper. All one word, Mr. Get Paper. That's the best way. That's the only one I do personally. Everything else is probably a fraud or a fake.
Got you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you again for coming
I
through.
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.